You know, every once in a while, a stock makes a move that is so big, so dramatic, that it forces everyone to stop and take notice. And that is exactly what happened with Nova Minerals. In this explainer, we're going to dig into the story behind its incredible surge and try to figure out, is the hype for real, or is the rush already over?
And this is the number that kicked everything off. A massive 240% rally for Nova Minerals just this year. Now, a move like that, especially in the mining world, it doesn't just happen randomly. It tells you that something fundamental has changed in how the market sees this company. And it raises one huge question for anybody who's watching.
And that's really the heart of it, isn't it? Was that incredible 240% jump the grand finale? Or was it just the market finally waking up to a much, much bigger story that's only just getting started? To answer that, well, we have to look under the hood. And the engine that's driving all of this for Nova is the Estelle Gold Project, deep in Alaska. Now, this isn't just some random plot of land with a few good drill holes. This is the entire foundation of the company's value. So let's take a closer look at what's really down there.
This number, wow. This tells you just the sheer scale we're talking about. The project has a confirmed resource of 9.9 million ounces of gold. To give you some perspective, that makes Estelle one of the single largest undeveloped gold deposits on the entire planet. We're not just talking about one mine here, we're talking district-scale potential. It's huge.
And what's really cool is how diverse this project is. Think of it like two different kinds of treasure chests. On one side, you have the corbel area. That's huge amounts of gold, spread out, but near the surface, which makes it easier and cheaper to mine. But then you've got the RPM area, which is like hitting a super rich vein, insanely concentrated, high-grade gold. Having both that massive scale and that incredible richness, that's what really gets geologists excited.
Okay, so you've got the gold, but what's it actually worth in dollars and cents? Well, a scoping study in 2023 gave us a first look. At 1850 gold, the project was valued at over $650 million, with an amazing 53% rate of return. But here is the kicker. The study had an upside case, a what-if scenario, that said the value could jump to almost $1 billion if gold hit $19.80 an ounce. Well, guess what? Gold prices have been consistently above that level for a while now. So that upside case, that's pretty much become the new baseline, which makes the whole thing even more attractive.
You know, the biggest killer for these remote mining projects is always infrastructure. How do you get people and equipment in and the minerals out? But for Nova, the pieces are literally falling into place. The state of Alaska is building a major access road that's going to get them all-weather access right near the project. They're studying power options, and the fact that it's on state-owned land just makes the permitting process so much smoother. Every single one of these things helps remove risk from the equation.
But if the story stopped right there with the gold, it would already be a pretty impressive one. But it doesn't. In fact, this is where the entire investment story takes a really fascinating turn. Because there was another discovery, something that takes the Estelle project from simply being valuable to being strategically critical.
So, as they were doing their exploration work, Nova found something else laced within that gold deposit. A secret ingredient, you could say. And this ingredient didn't just catch the eye of geologists. It caught the attention of some very, very important people in Washington, D.C.
And that secret ingredient is antimony. Now, you may not have heard of it, but it is a critical mineral. It's essential for all sorts of things, from flame retardants to semiconductors, but crucially, it's vital for defense applications. So all of a sudden, the Estelle project wasn't just a gold project anymore. It was a potential domestic source of a mineral that is vital to U.S. national security.
Look, finding a strategic mineral is one thing. That's great. But having the U.S. government itself validate that importance with a massive financial commitment, well, that is a complete and total game changer.
And there it is, $43.4 million US dollars. That's how much the U.S. Department of Defense awarded Nova's subsidiary. And let's be crystal clear, this was not a loan. This was non-dilutive funding. It's essentially a grant from the DoD to help them build a domestic supply chain for antimony right there at the Estelle project.
The impact of a grant like this is just massive, and it works on 3 different levels. First, it's cash for development that doesn't dilute existing shareholders by selling more stock. Second, it is the ultimate stamp of approval. The U.S. government is basically saying, yes, this project is strategically important to us. And third, it opens up a whole new potential revenue stream beyond just gold, completely diversifying the company's future.
Okay, so let's circle all the way back to our original question.
Now that we know there's this enormous gold resource, a critical strategic mineral, and the Pentagon is literally an investor, did the people who got in before that 240% rally really capture all the value?
You know, when you lay out all the pieces like this, that initial rally starts to look less like a random spike and a lot more like the market just catching up to a new reality. You've got the huge gold resource that's still growing, you've got the strategic value of antimony, you've got a direct thumbs up from the US government, the infrastructure is becoming real, and you've got new financial flexibility. The entire foundation for this company is just fundamentally stronger today.
And there's a line from the analysis of this company that just absolutely nails it. It says, this combination places Nova at the intersection of gold's traditional appeal and Washington's new focus on securing critical minerals. I mean, that's it in a nutshell, right? It's sitting in this perfect sweet spot between the timeless appeal of gold and the new urgent demand for strategic minerals.
So, this leaves us with one final thought to chew on. What if that 240% rally wasn't the end of a traditional gold rush at all? What if, instead, it was just the beginning? The start of the market pricing in a whole new critical minerals era, with Nova and its massive Alaskan project positioned right at the very center of it all. That's the real question now.